Welcome to my Fauxbonichi flip through. I'm going to show you I'm going to walk you through where I've come from and some of the tools that I use in making my daily illustrative journaling stuff. This is meant to be a practice run because I'm going to be a first-time Fauxbonichi user. Woo, hello, 2015, yeah. And I thought before I actually put my mark on this beautiful, beautiful book, I want to try it on a less beautiful book. So I'm going to talk you through what went through my head in making and getting used to daily journaling. I think I've come a good distance from where I started. So my first day was on the 19th of October. I wanted to try and keep it Fauxbonichi-ish. So as you can see, it's a mess. I wasn't sure what I wanted to share. I have some El Cheapo masking tape type things from the dollar store. And you can see it's poorly cut, it's not well put together, but I thought whatever, just throw it on. Once you get used to it, you can go from there. So same kind of deal here. Instead of using washi tape as a border, are there doodly things that I can do? What things do I want to include? So on this day, I love Thai boxing and I'm taking classes in it right now. I put a bit of that in there, but I thought, well, this is actually quite technical. This is not something I want to keep, so I'm saving that for later. And here I'm like, ooh, this actually takes quite a bit of time to do. So, and this is when I decided, I think, you know, I want to stick to just this side of the book. All sorts of things from top to bottom. I have some labels that are adhesive, so they're like stickers. I thought you could draw on them and then stick them on other things, but it doesn't look good. There's no purpose. I don't know. I feel like the ink won't rub off, but I feel like it will. I thought, well, again, envelope stickers, folder stickers, not amazing, but I did like the use of colors here, so I thought that's something I want to try and incorporate more often. Filling up the page, different kinds of letterings, and I'm starting to print a bit better here. And if I'm doing conversation, which I do imagine will happen a lot, plan it out. I think it's kind of neat that I can talk to the rabbit in my head. The use of stamps, I've got a lot of Relacama stamps, but none of the proper ink pads, so that's something you'll see a bit. I don't think I do this very often because I thought, you know what, this is something I want to keep for planning. This is supposed to be a journal. And no faces either. I tried and it was a horrible thing. Ellen Davies and Stephen Fry do not deserve my horrible attempts. And again, this is, on the left here, so you can see I'm playing around a bit. This doesn't look so bad. It looked really bad in my head once I finished it, but now it could be worse, so it's not the best, but I don't think I would do that again. And again, using the page, deciding what things do I want to put here. Trying to draw things properly, no, that takes up too much time. Even if it is someone deserves that time, that kind of thinking and thought, but in the greater scheme of things, a photo would have been better over there, which I do later on, I believe. And just when I don't have much time, but I still want to journal, what can I do? Well, draw a giant penguin. You'll see that again. Especially when it's been a lazy day. Often, the lazier the day, the less likely I am to draw anything. Not because I didn't do much, but because I don't feel like it deserved anything. And just trying to use cutouts to try and incorporate them into a journal entry, but it feels a bit forced, so as lovely as they look, it didn't actually have anything to do with my day, so that's something I've learned to avoid. As bad as it looks, I think this is when I started to use pencil to kind of get things going. And the best thing about art journaling, though, is that what kind of images it brings back to my head. I can tell you exactly how neat it was to see, in the dark, 4 cars, one right after the other, headlights on. It was a cool thing, but here it looks like, I don't know, it looks rubbish, but I like it. And again, I attempted another to-do list. It looked good, but looks like crap. And again, at this point, I start doing everything in pencil first to kind of segment things. And ta-da! I think you can see all my efforts starting to come together. So, filling up the page, using different lettering, and using larger pictures and different colors to make it more visually appealing. And again, trying to use different tape. This turned pretty rubbish, but an attempt for food, just to take my time. What did it look like? What colors came to my head? I thought those came out quite all right. And this is another learning experience for me. I don't remember at all what happened this day. I could not tell you. This is a Sunday? I think it's a Sunday. Sorry, it's a Monday. No clue what happened. Absolutely none. Whereas the very following day, if this had been a blank, I wouldn't have been able to tell you much. But instead, this is my attempt to draw David Suzuki, because that evening I went to the Blue Dot Tour. A lovely evening and a fantastic lineup of speakers and artists, and I can tell you exactly, these were supposed to be forest. It was supposed to be like a silhouette all leading up to David Suzuki with a hummingbird, because he shared an amazing story about hummingbirds. There's a giant forest fire, all the animals are like, well, we're hooped. But therein was one tiny hummingbird bringing all this water, tiny drops of water, and all the animals are like, what you doing? That's pretty dumb. You're like a hummingbird, you can bring like hardly any water. And the hummingbird's like, well, I'm doing as much as I possibly can. And I thought that was a good moral. And on a day where I feel like I want to write a lot, throw in a giant sticker, boom, done. And then I thought this was a really cute page. Again, using colors. Oh, this is when those masking tapes probably came in. Yes, this was a lovely day. I got a lot this day. I'll show you some masking stickers that I got. I got some bird stamps. Again, I'm using markers instead of ink wells, ink pads. Coletto pens came in, really lovely. Oh, these pens are absolutely gorgeous. Again, I think the benefits, again, of using pencil to sort of get yourself started. Embarrassing day. It was a potluck and I completely forgot because I wasn't in, aside from Monday, I wasn't in that week and I completely forgot about it. Some cute costumes that kids were in. This kid was scary. Anyways. Yeah, I do have these photos on Instagram if you want to look at my horrible doodles and weirder writings. And again, trying to fill up the page using doodles, masking tape, just one weird strip, and then trying to sort of set the page using washi tape, masking tape, washi tape to make it look structured and put together. And sometimes washi tape as an illustration. So Pink Penguin. I think this is when I'm starting to create sort of characters in my head. So there's me, who's always a bit of the, who would I be? This would be the ego, perhaps. This would be id. This would be your super ego, I think, if you were going to go Freudian here. Anyways, so just some illustrations. Taking some time to think things out. So I do have this, well, you've seen my last video. This is when I started to think about it. And back to this, again, you can see why I'm only using one side. This just blades through like crazy. Using one central picture to draw the whole sort of day into one particular thought, and using smaller bits to divide the page, masking tape to fill up the paper so it doesn't feel so left alone, and going back to bunting and colors, and I thought that was quite nice. I like the horizontal segments. I think you can tell now that's something I do quite like. Using something big and something really obvious to define the day. And I do have a Pogo printer. I try not to use it too often though, unless it's something important like first day of snow. It's not first day of snow, but man, did it snow good, and it's still here. And just little bits about myself. Again, I think this is another assertion. I tried to draw Beyonce from her countdown video. I had that playing in my head all day, and I had a deadline that particular day as well, so I thought, ooh, yeah, no, not going to put too much more time into that. And so, but I will probably come back to that, we shall see. Using this day to, again, the horizontal bits and important symbols to represent larger concerns. Using color to fill in background, I think is something I need to do more of. I like that. Back to, again, the fact using Pogo photos to bring something together to illustrate a really important point that I cannot create out of my own two hands. And using just bits and pieces from the world around me. Oh, I pulled something out from here. And oh my god, I got a caramel brulee drink, and it is so amazing. So I pulled off the bits from the coaster warmer thingy on the Starbucks and threw them into, these are actually dollar store stickers. Oh, those are not. I think I've used them before as well. All the fish ones are also dollar store photos, or stickers, pardon me, which I think are a nice little way of like adding a bit of like flavor without having to break the bank and get something nice. And there's that angry penguin again. I think he will show up again. I do quite like him. Little bits. Oh, I love bunnies. And I do have blue boxing gloves, so that's, if you see blue boxing gloves, that's probably me. Oh yeah, there's me. This is the first time I did a comic. It took forever, even though I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and it's a very simple sort of outline. Probably wouldn't do it again. I was so tired at the end. I don't know what I was going to write here. Probably something about work, because that's my jacket that I'm wearing these days. But you know what? I'm at a point right now where I feel I like it enough. I don't have to fill it in. I know what my day was like. And this I thought was clever. So I had a busy evening. I put the wrong date in because I did this on a Saturday instead of on the Friday. Again, dollar store stickers to illustrate other things. I put some clear labels on top of these because I think it smudges a bit anyways. So I thought it'd be fun to use a map to show what my evening was like. And I guess I had dinner, and then I went to karaoke after. And it was a really quick drive, so I thought that's something to illustrate, to literally create a link between where I went that evening and what the day was like. And on a Saturday was a good day. Again, I haven't erased the pencil yet, so you can still see my drawings. And I really love drawing these persimmons, but again, actually this is a very good time to show you some of the tools that I use to get through with this. So here's some of those dollar store stickers. I think I got about 2 sheets for $1. These are a few years old now, but so I think it's a great time to use some of these stickers. I don't use stencils very often, as you can see. I'd rather just letter and outline them myself. These are a very important tool in my kit here. A Staedtler, 4 sizes of black liners, and they're fantastic. I use them, all sizes. Some of the stamps that I would really like to use but don't use presently because I need something to stamp them on, but they are great. And I like that these birds, these are definitely going to have a lot of dialogue in my world because just the way that some of them look, because you don't have to stamp them all, right? If you look at this, like these lovebirds here, if you were to just not put in any ink for the heart, you would have 2 birds chilling. And here's the masking tape. I love it too much, though. I can't bear to use them, and I'm really irritated at myself for that. These masking tapes are also from the dollar store. They're quite good. And they only have a few designs. They've got it in blue, red, and black. In gingham and in these stripy sort of things. So those are quite good, I think, just if you want to fill up space and make it look nice without having to break the bank with proper MT stuff. And what I'm holding now are some Staedtler brush markers. Really nice things. I've also got a couple Tombow, I think they're called. Yes, this one's a Tombow. And they are quite good too. They don't bleed through the Fauxbonichi page. Again, these I think I bought maybe 15 years ago. They're still quite good. I think I use them to sort of outline stuff as I go along. And some, again, these are ancient from when I was maybe 20 years ago now. Oh gosh. Self-inking stamps, karaoke style. And that's, and of course, this is the most important bit. These were only $2. These are just Target markers. I bought them after school sales were done, and they are fantastic. They do bleed. They don't bleed, I don't think, too much through the page, but there's a million colors in here, and they are just really great in that respect. Lots of colors, they were cheap, and they are quite vibrant on the page as well. So that's it. That's my flip through. I do have, whoops, hello. I do post everything here on Instagram, and that will be in a link. So if you wanted to look at any of these drawings and and read what I have to say, they will be available on Instagram. So thank you very much for watching. This was a lot of fun.